3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the Beetus Show, the show where we answer all of your questions about some of the most famous rivers in the world. But this is a special episode. We're actually doing a very specific river that's special, as we have a specialist that knows everything, and he'll just tell you about the river. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Hello. I am Catbike, totally not Balls235. I am totally not the host of the first episode, but I am totally the expert here. Yeah, I'm so happy to be on this show, as it's one of the greatest shows of all time, and I'm glad to answer all of your questions.
All right. So, first question, just generally for viewers who don't know, what is the Fort Nelson River? Like, where is it? Length?
It's in northeastern British Columbia. It's generally northeast westward to the Liard River, which is a tributary of the Mackenzie River, which empties into the Arctic Ocean. It is basically, it's in British Columbia. It's in the northeast. It's in the district, the Peace River Land District. Yeah, and it's a pretty big river.
So it's in British Columbia, Canada. And where does this river empty?
The river empties basically into the Liard River, which is on the border of British Columbia, the Yukon, and the Northwest Territories.
How long is it again? How long is the river?
The river is 517 kilometers, or for American viewers that can't understand basic mathematics, 221 miles.
So, I know you said this. Is there any elevation to consider here? What's the geography of this river?
Geography. Well, it's in a very mountainous region, if you would call it that, as it's overall near the mountains, but also has a basin nearby, and it's fairly in the north. So, yeah, it's overall a very nice region, you know. Basically, there's a lot of snow in the area, but it's overall very flat in some areas, but it's also very rough in some other areas. But in the western side, it's very rough. On the eastern side, it's fairly flatter, as it flattens out into a plateau for a large portion where the shield of the North American continent is located.
So it'd be a very perfect place to set up, for people to live. So what's the history? What's the history of people that live?
It has a very rich history. The Dene and the Sekane. I'm gonna really butcher this, but Sekane nations used it for food and trade. It's named after the town which is on the river, which is Fort Nelson, which was established in 1805 as a fur trading post. But when the river was abandoned, there was no real communities along the river, and then there was but it's it's overall a very interesting history with lots of different indigenous peoples and companies and British people. Yeah.
All right. So there's this huge history. I've also heard a little bit. I did a bit of research before I asked you all of these questions, of course. And I was just wondering. I heard there's a local disagreement that happened about this river. Can you tell me about that?
Basically, there's among the local population of there's basically, it's thought that it's not formed by the Fauna and Sekine rivers, but it's formed more downriver by the Sekine chiefs, meaning the larger Muskaz River. So there's basically a very large disagreement over where the river starts. Yeah, but overall, let me hit. Okay, so the Meta, the company, basically Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they wanna trick us into thinking that the river is
okay, and that's enough of the show, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.
You see here,
I hope you enjoyed
the companies, they're all going to take over the world.
That's all.
They're going to put microchips to our brains, and then they're going to fry them using SAO technology.
Goodbye.
they're lying to. Meta is trying to lie to you intentionally. They're manipulating the local people and the population to make you think that the river starts in another place so they could keep their gold mines secret. Meta, the company Meta, basically what they're trying to do is hide their gold reserves so they can keep farming money because they can't make any money because only people that use Facebook anymore are the old geezers and they can't make any money for Facebook, so they're using the gold mines they have on the river, but they're trying to hide the status of the river by lying to you about where it starts. The people there, the Dani and the Cree population, they actually know where the river starts, and that's where the river does start. But the Meta, the company, is lying to you and trying to make you think it's somewhere else, so they can keep farming the gold in the area, so they can make money, and then they can use that money to put brain chips into our brains, microchips into our brains, so they can control our thoughts, our words, our actions. So the government's using Meta so they can they're gonna overthrow Meta, then take over our brains and fill our minds with the government propaganda. So overall, then the Meta is gonna take over the government as a counter coup, and then Meta is gonna take over and just make us watch old geezers on Facebook over and over and watch cringy and re-uploaded content. So that's why Meta is trying to hide the river where it starts, so Meta can take over the world using the gold reserves.